If you're someone who loves white Burgundy or just Chardonnay overall, and you're tired of paying white Burgundy prices, then I have the perfect producer for you. You're talking about Kumeu River. Now, Kumeu River has a long history, and they're located on the North Island, and they've been making Chardonnay specifically since 1979. But the winery itself goes back to 1944. Before then, they were doing hybrid grapes and a lot of the things that newer upstart wineries would do in marginal areas. But as the wine industry kept on evolving in New Zealand and they started bringing in more international grapes, they realized, hey, we have something special. And so Kumeu River was one of the first to really set forth. Now, Kumeu River, what they did is they sent out their son, Michael Brakovich, to learn the trade in Burgundy. And in 1989, he actually became New Zealand's first master of wine. And starting in the mid 1990s, they started going into single vineyard wines, really emphasizing the terroir of New Zealand. Since then, they've been known for top quality wines, constantly getting plaudits to the point that in 2015, they actually did a blind tasting with their single vineyard wines up against a bunch of white Burgundy. And guess who came out on top? These wines right here. And I cannot wait to bring you these 2024 wines, a year that started off a little cold, a little wet, a little shaky. What that did is that reduced the yields. But what that also did is that upped the concentration so that the wines that were left ended up becoming really beautiful. We had this wonderful, long, warm, dry vintage, but never got too hot. Complex flavors, a lot of minerality, a lot of pristine, and I cannot wait to try these for you. And we're going to be starting off with their village wine. This is around 20 bucks, and this is one that always kills it. This is a blend of their wines from both Kumeu River and Hawke's Bay. Now, most of the wines see barrel fermentation. This also sees some stainless steel. This is a wine that they really want you to drink right away. It's really fresh, it's really vibrant, and we are going to give this a try. There's this lovely creaminess, this sort of a pear, red apple, a little bit of yogurt, custard, but this lovely apple blossom and spring florals, and a little bit of lime and minerality. It's really pretty, really fresh, really aromatic, but also really balanced. And I cannot wait to try this. What a fabulous introduction into these wines. Really, around 20 bucks, you cannot find something better, in my opinion. A lot of $20 Chardonnays in the New World, or even in Burgundy, they're nice, they're fresh, they're easy drinking, but this brings a little more heft, a little more seriousness. A wonderful texture with that nice, bright freshness across the palate. Really pretty. Great way to start off, and one that you really need to look out for. Now we're going to move it right along into their 2024 Estate Vineyard Chard. This is the Chard that sort of started it all. This is what they really kicked it off with back in the 80s, before they really started doing a lot of the single vineyards. This is a blend of 6 vineyards, and it sees full barrel fermentation. Already there's this wonderful complexity, and you're seeing a real step up from the village wine. So that barrel fermentation, it adds a little bit of texture, but these are more neutral barrels. And you get that sort of creaminess, the custard, the yogurt, this sort of mild lemon, quince, red apple, little jasmine, peach, and just this really wonderful, just harmonized wine that I'm surprised is showing so well, so ready, and I cannot wait to try this. One thing I think I might have done is I might have just had me having these a little too cold. I only just pulled these out of the fridge probably about 15 minutes ago, screwed the tops off. But what I do like is this lovely texture, medium bodied, really balanced, really suave. That creaminess from the malolactic fermentation really comes through. But there's this wonderful crisp acidity that balances it all out and really refreshes. And now we're on to wine number 3, and this is the only one that they do from Hawke's Bay. Now, Hawke's Bay, now this is located also on the North Island, but really in the east, on the edge. Like you're just looking out at the Pacific Ocean, really into nothing. But Hawke's Bay produces some amazing wines. It's an area that's known really well for its red Bordeaux blends, but also produces some fantastic sort of tension-filled Chardonnay. And this is the Rays Road. This is a vineyard that they've really only had since about 2016 or 2017. I'm going to double check that. But it's them kind of stepping out of their normal and but still working within the things that they know how to do. And I cannot wait to try this. There's this really lovely freshness, this brightness, this real salinic quality to it that I'm really liking. This lime, lemon peel, apple, but like freshly picked apples, right? It's not green. It's not like a red delicious. It's just an apple in your hand that you want, that you want to just bite into right off the tree. This really nice boss pear kumquat, bit of apple blossom, orange blossoms, but it's showing a lot of this with this like sort of mineral saline thing, just providing a wonderful base. Really fresh, really lively, and quite different from the other 2 wines. And I'm really digging it, and I cannot wait to try this. That liveliness of the nose really shows on the palate, and it's really refreshing. It's really electric, but balanced. It's immediate, it's fresh, it's vibrant. It's not a puppy dog, but there's something excitable about it. A great refreshing acidity, really vertical, really mouth-watering, really lovely, and what an interesting and wonderful sort of contrast to the other wines. Now, for wine number four, we're getting into the sort of the classic Kumeu River single vineyards, and this is the Coddington from Kumeu. Now, this vineyard itself has been a part of the estate blend since 1998. But by 2006, the family had realized, hey, there's something really special and really cool going on here. So in 2006, that was the first year that they decided to make it as a single vineyard. In 2024, this is the lowest yielding site, and traditionally this brings a richer style, something with a little more stature and with a little more oomph. I cannot wait to try this because, hey, let's see if what they say follows through on the glass. There's something broader, something a little more serious and stern, but not uninviting, right? It's welcoming, but you have to move towards it. There's a bit more orange peel, that navel orange, a custard, like a lemon curd, more of a Meyer lemon, red apple, quince, kumquat, like those sort of like slightly darker fruit flavors. But what I really do love is the level of layering that's going on already on this 2024. You can tell this is a really serious wine. This is a real step up from the previous three wines, and I cannot wait to taste this. So there's definitely some broadness on the palate, and I kind of wonder if the cooler temperature that I'm opening this at is affecting this. But this is firmly in the medium category. I don't find this to be a richer, big Chardonnay. It's got some stature, right? But it's like a middleweight, but not but a middleweight you don't want to mess with, right? If you see them out and about, that acidity is crisp, it's refreshing, it binds. It lets you know it's there. It lets you know that this is young. It has some really lovely texture. All the flavors on the nose are following through, and what a beautiful wine, and what a great way to get into these like really straight up Cameo single vineyards. Now, wine number five. This one, this gets into like the upper echelon of what Cameo River does, and this is the Hunting Hill. And this is a vineyard that was initially planted in 1982 and replanted in 2000. This is a vineyard that Monte Brockovich himself would go out and do shooting because, therefore, Hunting Hill, right? And it overlooks the Mate's vineyard. So it's this higher level, and it really, theoretically, it's going to bring a little more tension, but it's got a little more broad shoulder and some mineral qualities, or at least that's what they say. And I cannot wait to try this. Really fresh, really bright, really delineated. It's elegant and finessed, but with like not like razor edges, but like defined edges. You get that apple and citrus fruits, that peach blossom, just a little bit like cinnamon stick, that mineral quality that they do claim. I think it's showing through here more like a saline freshness, kind of a saltiness, a salty air, acacia flowers. There's this real spring-like nature to it. But we're going to taste this, and you can taste how this is one of their sort of big ones. They're big two. So much texture, so much balance, precise but elegant at the same time. Yeah, I think that minerality comes through. I don't know if that's just me reading the things, but it's really refreshing, really vibrant, and really poised. I'm a big fan of that. I really hope you look out for that. This is, in my opinion, this is one of those sort of like Chiellini killers, if you will. I think this would mess with anyone blind in all the good ways. And we are ending with their signature Chardonnay. This is the Mate's vineyard. This vineyard itself was originally planted in 1944, but in 1990 he really started beginning converting it. And this was the first single vineyard that they really worked with. It didn't debut until 1993 or 94. I'm going to double check that and say something right there. This vineyard itself has been their flagship since. This is what they want you to drink. This is their signature. This is the top line. Understandably, right? It's named after not the founder, but the patriarch, if you will. It shows up precision, but with concentration, very much like a lot of Camino River wines, but really the best of it. And I'm going to give this a taste. Wow, so complex, so deep, really, really cool. Um, there's a cinnamon stick, nutmeg spice, a bit of vanilla, but Meyer lemons, pears, apples, bit of like sort of cream peaches, vanilla bean, apple blossoms. Like there's just so much going on with this racy sort of mineral base that is really just lighting my nostrils up in all of the best ways. And I cannot wait to give this a try. And if we're going to end a video on a high, this is on a monster high. That's awesome. That is just absolutely insane. Wow. I've been a big fan of Kumeu River wines for a long time. I remember many years ago, a friend blinding me. Yeah, I thought it was Burgundy. These wines are so special. And if you're not familiar with them, you really should become familiar with them. This is such an amazing alternative to white Burgundy. I think it brings a similar value. They consistently show so well, and they are amazing, amazing wines and wines I really, really, really hope you guys search out. That's today's episode, and I really hope you like it. If you're a big fan of Kumeu River, let me know down in the comments, and absolutely hit that like button, and for sure hit that subscribe button, because I'm just going to keep on bringing you more of these fantastic producers and more great regions to dig into. Cheers.